In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how fast you can build a no-code or low-code solution. Plus, we'll dive into which providers are the best, and just as importantly, the most affordable to get you started.
All right, let's get right into it. The number one question everyone has is always about speed. So let's cut to the chase and look at the hard facts of what you can actually get done.
So just look at this range. It's kind of mind-blowing. Simple automations, you can knock that out in an afternoon. But get this, even a full-blown app with user logins and complex logic can be up and running in 1 to 3 weeks. Now think about that. We're not talking about the 6-month or year-long development cycles of the past. This is a complete game changer for getting ideas out the door.
But here's the secret sauce to hitting those timelines. Your speed goes through the roof when you know exactly what you're building and you keep the scope tight, resisting that temptation to add just one more feature, what they call scope creep, and just focusing on the core problem you're solving. Well, that's the single biggest thing that'll get you from an idea to a working product fast.
Okay, so let's get into the tools themselves. We're going to walk through the big players here, the most powerful and cost-effective platforms that'll get your no-code journey started right.
First up is Airtable. And look, if you have ever felt trapped inside a regular spreadsheet, you are going to love this. It is a huge favorite for building internal tools and incredibly flexible databases.
The best way to think about it is like a spreadsheet on steroids. You can actually link records between tables, build automations right inside your database, and even spin up simple app interfaces right on top of your data. It is absolutely perfect for creating a custom CRM or project management dashboard in no time. Plus, with its API support, you can connect it to pretty much anything else you're using.
Next, we've got the undisputed king of automation, Zapier. You've probably heard it called the glue of the internet, and honestly, that's the perfect description. It just connects everything.
The magic of Zapier is its simple if this, then that logic. So for example, if a customer pays you on Stripe, then you can automatically create a record in Airtable and send a welcome email from your Gmail. The key thing to remember is that Zapier isn't for building the app itself. It's for automating all the critical workflows between the apps you already rely on.
Okay, so we've covered databases and automation, but what if you want to build a real production-grade web application that customers can actually log into and use? Well, that's where Bubble comes in. It is, without a doubt, the most powerful player in the no-code game.
This is the heavy hitter. This is the tool for your really ambitious projects. We're talking fully functional SaaS products or complex customer portals. There's a fintech company called Dividend that actually built its entire initial platform on Bubble and went on to raise hundreds of millions of dollars. It's the perfect tool for building out an MVP to actually test your business idea with real people.
All right, let's circle back to automation for a second and talk about Make. Now, you might remember this tool by its old name, Integromat. It's an incredibly powerful alternative to Zapier, especially when your workflows start to get a little more complex.
So Zapier or Make? When do you pick which one? Well, Zapier is all about simplicity and its absolutely massive library of app integrations. But Make gives you this visual canvas where you can literally draw out your complex multi-step scenarios. If you need to transform data, add branching logic, or handle errors in a sophisticated way, Make's visual approach is just so much clearer. It's kind of what you graduate to when your simple zaps aren't quite cutting it anymore.
Now, for anyone who needs a mobile app like yesterday, Glide is your answer. It does one thing, and it does it brilliantly. It turns simple spreadsheets into working apps at an incredible speed.
Yeah, here's the bottom line. If your data is sitting in a Google Sheet, you can have a functional, shareable app for your team in minutes. Seriously, minutes. It's perfect for things like employee directories or simple inventory trackers. Now, it's not going to give you the raw power of Bubble, but that's not the point. For sheer speed from a spreadsheet to a working app, nothing else comes close.
And finally, let's talk about Notion. Now, a lot of you are probably already using this as your team's second brain. Well, it's recently gotten into the automation game with its own simple, built-in workflows.
Notion is just fantastic for keeping all your team's knowledge in one place. Wikis, project plans, databases, you name it. And its new automations are great for internal tasks, like, say, automatically creating a project brief when you drag a card to the approved column. But, and this is a big but, it's a closed garden. It is not a tool for building external, customer-facing web apps.
Okay, that was a lot of tools. So the big question is, which one is right for your project? Let's break it down and give you a simple roadmap.
Think of this as your cheat sheet. If you just need to automate a process, you're looking at Make or Zapier. Building an internal tool, like a simple CRM, go with Airtable or Notion.
If you're building a real product, a real SaaS app, you go straight to Bubble. And if you need a mobile app, like right now, it's Glide, no question.
And now for the best part, the cost. Check this out. Every single tool we just discussed has a free plan. That means you can build and launch a functional MVP to test your idea with actual users without spending a single dollar. For beginners, I'd say Make and Notion offer incredible value right out of the gate. Their free tiers are super generous and give you a ton of power to build something real from day one.
All right, before we finish up, I want to leave you with a few pro tips. Think of these as the core principles to help you really hit the ground running and build with maximum speed.
So let's boil it all down. If you want to build ridiculously fast, here's the playbook. First, don't reinvent the wheel. Use the templates these platforms provide. Second, and this one's crucial, always start with your data model. Figure out the structure of your information first, because that is the foundation for everything else. Then, build your automations piece by piece, not all at once. And most importantly, get your product in front of real users as early as you possibly can. That feedback is gold. These are the levers that will take you from just an idea to a working product faster than you ever thought possible.